One of the Schoolboys Coxed 8. Again, the first 4 will go through to the semis. Strong field here. In lane 1, Scotch College from Victoria. In lane 2, Hutchins. In lane 4, Brighton Grammar School. In lane 5, Shaw School. In lane 6, Melbourne Grammar School. In lane 7, Wesley College. And in lane 8, Xavier. Could be some very good racing here as they are just off now.
Yes, the Schoolboys Coxed 8, always one of the great events of the national championships, and the competition certainly always heats up when these school events begin. And what a sight there as these 8s are on their way down the 2,000 metre course. A field of 7, so virtually at capacity, and they're on their way in the early strokes. Just each crew trying to get their bow in front as they get off to a quick start. Scotch College from Melbourne, the red colours, farthest away from the camera. Lane 2 there, the narrowest of leaders. The crews in 4, 5 and 6, the centre lanes. Brighton Grammar, Shaw and Melbourne Grammar locked together. And Xavier College too have got away well closest to the camera, although probably sitting about half a length or so back in fact now, Xavier and Wesley. The action is really Scotch on the far side plus the crews in the centre of the course.
Yeah, the starting nerves will have dissipated quickly at the buzzer. They'll be off. All the crews all trying to keep it loose now. Loose but applying maximum pressure. They won't want anybody to get away too quickly. Those crews from Scotch College, Brighton Grammar School, Shaw and Melbourne Grammar School will know each other very well, given the racing that they've done over the prior few months. And they'll all want to be keeping very close. Looks like it's going to be a nice race, nice close race up to the 500 metre mark.
We're about to go through there now, so we will get, in fact we've got some splits there now. Scotch College through first in 1:24.37, their time over the opening 500 metres, and have a look at those splits there between the top 4 or 5. Brighton Grammar second, just 0.66 behind. Melbourne Grammar third, 0.42 further back. Shaw next, 0.9 off the pace. 1.5 seconds to Hutchins, 1.2 to Xavier, and 1.5 to Wesley College. This is 8s racing at its best.
So nobody's gone out with a definite move, so they're all the boats are covered quite closely. We should be in some good racing at the halfway mark. We'll see how the boats are split, but very close so far.
And Scotch College, we mentioned before, they were racing in the 4s as well. Scotch won the Melbourne Head of the River on Saturday. They have got 2 crews across these 3 heats, so not sure which is their first 8, which presumably is a second 8, but by the form of this Scotch crew, this may well be the same crew that won the Victorian Head of the River the other day, beating Brighton Grammar, who are also in this race, sitting a couple of lanes across them in lane 4. So certainly the Victorians are doing well this time around. The Shaw School were the winners of the Sydney Head of the River, who are also in this race.
Yeah, and Scotch have made quite a definite move there, coming up to the 1,000 metre mark. They've eked almost a boat length out from Brighton Grammar. Third sit Melbourne Grammar, and Shaw are sitting in 4th. But again, no more than 4 seconds cover the first 4 boats. Every boat in fact is still well in touch there.
Yeah, they're still all overlapping each other, but Scotch College from Melbourne on the far side of the course certainly look to be in a pretty commanding position now. They had 2.53 seconds at the 1,000 metre mark and went through in a time of 2:51.43. So Scotch have just gone out a clear water now from Brighton Grammar in second place. The top 2 from the Victorian Head of the River, with Melbourne Grammar still there in third ahead of Shaw. Then Hutchins, Wesley College and also Xavier. Top 4 to go through, so the interest in that battle for 4th and 5th place at the moment. The Shaw School lane 5 and Hutchins over in lane 3, the ones who will try and challenge them over the closing 600 or 700 metres of this race.
And Scotch making that move, they look quite comfortable in the closing parts of this race now. Quite a comfortable rate, snapping those knees down together quite nicely. Fast hands around the finish. Look to be in a commanding position as they roll up to the 500 metres to go.
They're doing exactly what they need to do. Out to about a length and a quarter now, Scotch College, as they come through the 1500 metre mark comfortably in front. The crew of James Isles, Fraser Miss-Campbell, Tom McPhail, Josh Hill, Marcus Emmett, Sam Hobson, James Scott, Marcus Cameron, coxed by Archie Gill, coached by Tom Woodruff, the Scotch College Melbourne crew. 3.69 seconds it was over Brighton Grammar in second place. 3.24 seconds back to Shaw now, the champions of New South Wales, who've moved up into third spot to make sure they comfortably qualify, and they've got about 3 seconds on Melbourne Grammar, who are back in fourth, and in a tight battle with the Hutchins School over in lane 3. That's where the interest lies. Hutchins in 3 against Melbourne Grammar in 6. Scotch still in front, but comfortably so. Brighton Grammar have a good view of this battle for 4th and 5th unfolding either side of them, but Scotch just doing it easy out there on the far side now, just doing enough to remain very, very comfortably in front. Then Brighton Grammar, and then it's Shaw, Melbourne Grammar, almost side by side really in 3rd and 4th, and Hutchins desperately trying to gain some ground here in the closing strokes. They are winding up that Hutchins crew and trying to make sure of a semi-final spot as well. I reckon they've got about half a length or so to make up, but on Shaw and Melbourne Grammar, who hopefully are aware of the danger as these crews charge towards the finish line. The Scotch College crew on the far side is about to get the win comfortably in front. They led it pretty much from the first stroke. The minor placing's interesting. Lane 4, Brighton Grammar should still get second place. Shaw just holding off Melbourne Grammar, and the fast finishing Hutchins crew won't quite get there. So Brighton Grammar second, 3rd goes to Shaw, 4th place to Melbourne Grammar, 5th will be Hutchins, just missing out and going to the repechage instead.